So it has now been 1 year since I quit antipsychotic medication, Quetiapine. And it feels like a birthday to celebrate, but really, it's now become not that special. I have been integrating this new state of being, this new identity for the last 12 months. And I reflect back 1 year ago, I was getting ready to go through my darkness ritual, where I would put on the blindfolds and I would stay blindfolded for, I think it was 36 hours as a little experiment and transition into the new year. I remember I took a bath blindfolded. I I made myself teas. I I made some notes that I recently had a look at actually. Some really interesting insights were there. But the key insight from today is that my brain and nervous system is a totally different version than that from any amount of years ago. Very, very different from 8 years ago, very different still from 6 years ago, very different from even 2, 3 years ago. Actually, this year I was still experimenting with marijuana a little bit. I would smoke one joint here and there if it was offered by some friends. And now I've completely detached from that. I feel no drive to explore marijuana anymore. It just the balance between the upsides versus the downsides is no longer working for me. And really, I have shifted into a version that is meditating much more consistently, much longer as well, more consistent with my exercise. It also feels great to have gone through a full year cycle of seasons because there's always during the first year that wonder of, what if you feel better when there's more sunshine? What if you feel better when you're with more friends? What if you feel better uh, depending on the season? And just having gone through that first year without medication is really a milestone. And I'm looking forward to more milestones, and I'm looking forward to taking a more conscientious and conscious approach to life, while still achieving my goals, which are, yeah, big goals, but so satisfying and challenging enough that it will keep me fueled and motivated for my whole life. And yeah, I find that end of year is always a good time to reflect, to review on what has happened in the previous year, particularly because we have a tendency to be so zoomed in on the day-to-day grinds, the daily challenges, the thoughts, the emotions, and not enough zoomed out on, well, what's happened this year? How has that transformed me? What am I looking forward to in the next 1, 2 years, 5 years, decade? This is really the key thing. I also learned about needs this year, human needs beyond food, water, sleep, shelter. It turns out that there's 10 times this many needs. A lot of them are emotional needs, social needs, self-esteem needs, creativity, rest, relaxation. transcendence needs. All of these are human needs. And so having an idea of what the human needs are really helps you make sense of what behaviors you are not happy with, what thoughts are you not happy with, and gives you a framework to think what are the needs that these things are meeting for you that are not being met in other ways in order to then figure out ways to meet those needs in healthier ways. And it seems like I've been able to do that. And it's been great. Life is pretty effortless. I have been consistent with my gratitude practice for more than 1 year now. I started it in September 2024. And I've only had 1 day and maybe 1 week where I kind of skipped it because it was out of reach, out of habits, festival times, all-nighter events where I didn't have my journal, overly exhausted, really exceptions. But other than that, every single day before I go to bed, writing my gratitude. And now I've been journaling as well, separately from the gratitude. So I have the regular journal and I have the gratitude journal. And these two are parallel practices in my wind down routine. And yeah, I mean, it really does reprogram the brain. Everything that can pop up is like, ah, it pops up. If it's the apocalypse, I will have a slight shock of, ah, it's the apocalypse. Let's have the experience of the apocalypse then. And it's not so bad. It's not so bad. And yeah, there's a lot of things in my life that have happened that have led me to this kind of mindset and feeling and experience of life. But I want to say that it's absolutely trainable. I mean, 10 years ago, I was not at all like this. I had a lot of attachments. I had a lot of addiction kind of problems. I was not yet having psychoses, but yeah, I experienced mania 8 years ago, 6 years ago. Now I've been tapering medication off for 5 years and I quit 1 year ago. And I'm happier than I've ever been. I'm more grounded than I've ever been. I'm more spiritually connected than I've ever been. I'm healthier than I've ever been. Um, and it's noticeable. And I am very much looking forward to keep going on this trend as 2026 unfolds into new beginnings. And I hope the same for you. I hope this helps and inspires. And yeah, if you are inspired and if you want some help, there are a million tools, there are a million techniques, there are a million things that you can learn in order to improve your situation. And if I can help you decide or point you the way to figure out what would help you the most, then it would be my honor to do so. Other than that, I hope your journey is going as well as it can be, and that you two are on a path of improving your experience in this life, in this mind, in this body. And yeah, I look forward to hearing from you soon. Until then, lots of love.